Heavenly King, with joy and gladness, with upliftment, with acknowledging you as our all in all, and there's none but you, O great King. We give thanks and praises to your holy name, O Heavenly Father. Thank you for our lives and the lives of our loved ones. And thank you for the days and the beautiful Shabbat and the opportunity, Almighty God, for you to enlighten our hearts with showing us the goodness in our young daughters, Almighty God. There's no God like unto you, O Heavenly King. Therefore, we ask, Almighty God, cause us to return unto thy Lord, Almighty King. Draw us near, O Father, unto thy service. For we delight in thy laws, statutes, and commandments, Almighty King. I thank you so much for your goodness, your mercy, and your love, and please bless the Moreh. And bless the students that are here, Almighty God. And bless the effort. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty God.
Praise the mighty God.
Shalom. Shalom. My shalom, Tim. How's everybody doing?
Right.
Okay. Giving honor and praise unto the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. This is Hebrew class number 11. For those who are new and for those who I just found out are online, are brand new, because of an inbox I got, I want to go into some of the stuff that we went over way back when, and then, if you may say, catch up, for edification purposes. The first thing we went over is this, being the alphabet itself. I'll state it. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Wow. Zayin, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Kaf, Sofi. Lamed, Mem, Mem, Sofi. Nun, Nun, Sofi. Samet, Ayin, Pei, Fe, Fe, Sofi. Zadeh, Zadeh, Sofi. Kuf, Re, Shin, Sin, Tau, Ta. Now, one of the things to point out concerning this, if there's any questions or comments, please raise your hand or let me know online.
Okay.
Don't, it's not going to like, oh, wait your turn. No. Don't blurt it out, but, just let me know. I'll try to assist Father willing as far as that's concerned. Whatever the sound starts with, or whatever the letter starts with, is the sound it makes. Bet thus makes B, Gamel G, Vav W, Zayin Z. So Kaf will make what, brother? If this is Bet making the B sound, Kaf will make what sound?
C.
Okay, or K in that particular case. But the reason why I say K instead of C is because C could be a S or a K sound. So just to use that for edification purposes. Sheen, Sheen, SH sound. Resh is a R sound. Exactly. So that's how easy it is as far as the alphabet is concerned concerning this. This is lesson number 11. In lesson 1, we went over the alphabet extensively. All right? And all of this is online. And where we are now, basically, is speaking about sentence structure. But I'll deal with that later on in time concerning the actual aspect of this for several reasons. One, there's new people in the room. There's people who asked me when I was here, Akare Shabbat, about catching up on the class. They asked me that on the side. So I'm not going to mention who they are out of respect. So it's one thing to tell the people, I'm just leave it at that, just post it inside the comment board. But it's another thing when people are telling you, you need to go back so I can catch up with you so everyone can be to the best of their ability in sequence. That's just a matter of respect at that point. You understand? Because if you're going, not trying to be funny, let me give you an example. When people are saying, we go over the alphabet, go over the vowels, simple vocabulary, and you, in your own way, is doing something such as this sort right here. gonna lose your audience. Shamar Tiken, Ki Halak Ten, Uri Tiken. You can't do that. Not when people still asking you to go over this, and people inboxing you, and when they see you after Shabbat, they're asking you certain things of that sort. All right? So just let that be noted. The point, and I'm gonna leave this here, is for anybody who would see this online now, and if you're following from lesson 1 all the way through now to lesson 11, you can read that, break it down. Shamar, watch, Shamar T, I watch, Shamar T, Ken, you all, Ki, Halak, Ten, Halak to go. Past tense, put the suffix at the end, while representing the aspect of in, Re'iti from Ra'ah, the Lamed hate verb, Ken, with that being conjuncted together. We went over all of that in the past 11 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So the way, blessed be the Most High, attempting to go and teaching this is not college orientated, though it's college based. And my point is this: in college, they present it in a form of where they'll take you through the alphabet in like maybe 2 or 3 days, which is not the best way. This is why they try to, I may want to say, discourage people in college. Well, many people, for instance, this is something I've noticed. I'm what you call, in byword terms, a Black American. My people from Haiti, my Black people from Panama, my Black people from other countries who were born speaking French, Creole, Spanish, so forth and so on, they already, to a certain extent, have an advantage in linguistics aspects because they already spoke something else besides only English already. Certain questions that are asked are not asked by those who were trilingual by the age of 4, French, Creole, and English. They're not going to ask certain questions. A person like me, when I was first learning, only knowing English, being born and raised in New York City, my mother from Brooklyn, my father from Queens, my great-grandparents from North Carolina, Virginia, and Texas. So you see what I mean as far as it goes in that particular realm. So just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Are there any questions so far before we do the review and then the actual lesson? Any questions at all, Kane?
Yeah, I need to know the alphabet.
Okay, we're going to do that. Questions, comments, anybody else online? All right. Now, here is, okay. What we're going to do, this is the form in which we write it in this class. Aleph is as this. The sound, brother, and those online, Aleph makes a mute sound. All right? Now, the numerical value also is 1. Right? The word Aleph literally means 1,000. Right? So, if I said, Aleph Am, let's say 1,000 people. You know, just to give an example such as that. All right? So, next thing we got is base, correct. Now, I want to emphasize, in ancient Yisrael, whatever you may see doubled in quote-unquote modern Hebrew did not exist then. Yes, brother?
Aleph is A-L-F, right?
All right, thank you. A, right. A basic way of how to spell that particular aspect. Mm-hmm.
They put it PH.
Okay, they put, all right.
But remember, like you said, it's no right English way to spell out Hebrew stuff, right?
Yeah. That is the numerical value is 2, right? And this literally means house of, right? Or sometimes spelled as B-A-Y-T, right? Making obviously the B sound, all right? Next we have is Gemel, right? Now, can anybody tell me what sound Gemel is making? Right. Okay, the numerical value of that is 3. And the meaning literally of that is camel. The next we got is Dalet.
So that, the meaning of it is house?
Yes, house of.
House of.
Like Beit Lechem, which they translate that, transliterate as Bethlehem. Beit Lechem literally means house of bread. You see, so Beit Lechem means bread. All right. So Dalet in this case means door, D-O-O-R. All right. The numerical value of that is 4. Are there any questions or comments concerning what we're doing?
And Gimel means what?
Camel, the animal itself. All right, Torah Aki. Now, what I'm gonna show is for people to sit there. This is Bible. What I'm gonna show is for people to buy whenever they get the chance. No, not that one. This one, Hebrew Grammar, 201, Hebrew Dictionary. This is essential to have. The Ben Yehuda Dictionary. All right? This is essential to have. All right? You can get that in Barnes & Nobles or online. Same here. You can get this in Barnes, well, no, you can get this online only, it seems like. 201 Hebrew verbs. All right? And then this one here, Modern Hebrew Grammar and Composition. If you remember, if I remember right, these are lesson 3 or 4-ish, around that area, like the 3rd or 4th week. I went over the word art, which is what? Remember the word for art? Anybody? Art. How to say art? Anybody? Brother? Art? Doda is the word for art. So if you remember, I went over Doda, Dodati, Dodaka, and showing its possession. That being a female or feminine noun. All right, so just wanted to use that for edification purposes. Here, once again, we see Aleph, Bet, Gimel, and Dalet. This is a mute letter. The meaning literally of itself is 1,000. House of, Bet, making the B sound. Gimel, the G sound. Dalet, the D sound. All right, once you understand the vowels and the letters themselves, you automatically know how to read. Reading itself is one of the basic aspects of it. Most of us online or learning already, hardcore or already over teenage years. So what happens, I've noticed, no offense intended, with Black Americans, and I state that not being condescending because like I stated, I was born and raised here. But I state that emphatically to say that you do not find our Israelite brothers that come from Haiti or Panama saying, for instance, Hebrew has no vowels. That thinking only comes, brothers and sisters, one second. That thinking only comes when you see Hebrew with an English mind, A, E, I, O, and U. Sometimes why? Well, that's already incorporated in the English alphabet. So if you look at the Hebrew alphabet with that same mind frame, it's easy to say, well, where's A, E, I, O, and U? You got to get out the English thought to understand this aspect. Yes, bro.
Someone said, check out the Hebrew Math Dictionary. Do you know about that?
Okay, the dictionary that that's speaking of, and I mean no disrespect intended. That dictionary, yes, I know of it. That dictionary that the brother was just speaking about gets into the fact of saying instance, like the word for who, W-H-O, right, in Hebrew is me. That dictionary say the Hebrew word for who is maya, because they're saying everything has to have the ah sound or the patak sound. So Yisrael is said Yashva Allah. Yehuda is said as Yahawada. You understand? Because this is the understanding that some have. That form of understanding, Hebrew, and I say this in love and respect and intended, is that there's certain problems that come with that. And this is what I'm going to say concerning this. If you look at this word here, this is the Hebrew word, and I'm going to write it in modern quote-unquote Hebrew and quote-unquote paleo, all right, or ancient. Because the word paleo simply means, it's a Greek word for ancient. It's not deep, you're going to paleo. It's just another Greek word meaning ancient. The word orient is the Greek word meaning east. It's not deep. Just because you throw a different word to get attention, it's like, yo, you're deep. No, you're not. So let me just give an example. This is the word Isha, which means woman or wife. This is the same spelling of the word in modern, in ancient and modern, where you go to Leviticus chapter 3, it says, the one who brings up the fire offering. The word fire offering is Ishe, but it's both the exact same word, same letters. So how would you know without vowels, which make sound, how would you know the difference between a woman and a fire offering? Let's go in a little deeper concerning that. This word, and this is a blue ball in this particular aspect, right? Right in the modern and the ancient, right? This word said by many will be the word Quadash. Quadash in the book of Exodus means basically to sanctify. This word shown in the book of Kings is Quadesh. This is speaking about sodomites. So therefore you can tell there's a distinction in Israel between what is sanctified and what is unholy. That's why sound, aka vowels, is important. As one of my teachers, Mordecai Mishael, had pointed out, the Hebrew word, and I say this in light of the fact that there are children, no offense intended to anybody who is or will be listening, but the Hebrew word for homosexuality is Quedeshu. But it's the same root letters, the Kuf, the Dalet, and the Shin, which also from Quadash means to sanctify. So that's why one has to know what is one talking about. And you can only make that distinction in the sounds in which you make. So you have Exodus 28 with Quadash. You have the book of 1 Kings 14, with that word Quadesh translated as, oh, and in those days there were sodomites in the land. You see. Then you have the word Isha, meaning woman, in Genesis 2:22. Then you got the word Ishe, which means fire offering in Leviticus chapter 3. Yes, brother.
So the one under is like the old version, right?
Right. It's saying this is Aleph, this is Aleph. This is Sheen, this is Sheen, this is Say, this is Say. It's just, one is the ancient form of writing it, the other one is just the quote-unquote modern form of writing it. In the very first class, one second, which is online, I showed the chart of how they had the Sinaitic Hebrew, the Siloam Hebrew, the Gezer Hebrew, the Phoenician Hebrew, and the Hebrew that ancient Judah used. Because they used different forms of writing, though the pronunciation was the same. Yes.
So this letter at the bottom is the letter.
Here?
No, the one in the bottom, the first letter.
Here.
No.
What's here?
Yeah, that's Aleph, right?
No, this is Hey. Hebrew is read from right to left. So it's not left to right. So this is the first, and this is the last.
So yeah, from
This is the first.
the first is like that's like a K or something.
No, well, you might say it looks like that, but it's really like this. Okay, this is not dark enough for me, and I'm right here. So, just all right. So I'm sorry. Was that satisfactory or?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
What about that's the one in the middle?
This is the Sheen,
The Sheen.
right? And that's the head. That's not a W. That's just
Yisha.
no. That says Isha, which means woman or wife. You see, so just for edification purposes. All right. Is there any questions about what we went over so far?
So when you do the Aleph, right?
Yes.
The bar that you put, it doesn't go with the letter. You just put it there, right? The bar.
This?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's just a bar there. That's
okay.
not part of the letter itself. Good
All right.
question. Okay. So that's what that is with that. All right, we're going to go on. Next, we got hey. We got hey. The word hey is the fifth letter. It means window. Right? And it makes obviously the H sound. Wow makes the W sound, being the sixth letter. And the meaning of wow is hook. Zion is the seventh, and this Zion means weapon. This is Ket, the eighth, and this means fence. All right, now, these letters that we went over just now, hey, wow, Zion, Ket. This, as I was stating before, is the most important letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Hey, it makes it the H sound. Like the word ha means the.
So it's both of them, right? It's this and
Rewrite it so you can see it. All right, it goes like this. That's how that is. The distinction between the hey and the ket in writing is the fact that the ket has a line all the way through. And the hey, as you see, there has a split. That's the distinction in that particular case. All right, but the hey letter, you may want to write this down, is the most important letter in the alphabet. It's also a feminine letter. In other words, how to show things in a feminine form, you use that letter right there. Of the 7 verb stems, about 3 or 4 of them, you need that letter for. All right, so just want to use that for edification purposes. So,
the number 6. Wow.
yeah,
Hook.
wow, it means hook. The word wow means hook, and it also is it's the 6th letter. So it makes the numerical value of 6. All right, and so that's how that is in that particular case. Hey and wow. Hey is is the most important, hands down. Wow is also important as well. All right. Then we have Zion. Zion makes the Z sound. Now this is not Zion like Mount Zion. All right. But this particular Zion in this aspect means the word weapon. All right, for edification purposes. That's the meaning of that. Zion in that aspect means weapon. And pet, making the KH sound, as in the word ak, ruach, and so forth and so on, is is when you use that particular aspect. It's not a chuk, but a ka sound. All right, so just want to use that for edification purposes. Questions, comments, or? All right.
Vav makes the V sound?
No, there's really actually no V. Wow makes the W. Yeah. So just for edification purposes.
Kent means fence.
Right.
It's like a fence, a gate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the literal word for gate is sha'ar, but the literal word you would say for fence is pet. Mm-hmm. Sha'ar means gate. Sha'ah means hour. Like 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You want to say something?
So they differentiate the fence and the gate?
Well, there is a distinction between a fence and a gate. You can have a fence made out of wood. The gate generally is not made out of wood, for instance. You know, just to use that for edification purposes. A gate can be higher than that of a fence. You see what I'm saying? So just want to use that for edification purposes. When people say, oh, in my gates we do this, we don't say in my fence we do this. You know, just for, reasoning as far as that's concerned. So you got hey, while Zion, ket. The next we have is text. Right, and that's the ninth letter. The meaning, as the sister stated, is thinking it makes the T sound, as in the word tov, like meaning good. There's in the word ta'am, meaning to taste. You see what I'm saying? So just to use that particular aspect. Questions, comments? Anybody? Complaints? Yes. The word that's used in Genesis when you read about the serpent is the word nakash. That's not the same thing as the word tet, the snake. Another thing is that the Hebrew, obviously, as many brothers and sisters state, that it gives you a deeper meaning concerning what's being stated. Let me give you an example. When you read in Exodus, right? Like for instance, I have a book about the Exodus, Pesach, Yisrael in Egypt, as we went over and spoke about. You understand what I'm saying? The Hebrew lets you know that when Moshe, Aaron cast their staff to the ground, the English, no offense intended, says, oh, it became a serpent. But the Hebrew says it became a tanin. And the Hebrew word tanin means like a sea creature. Whereas when the children of Israel, when they cast their rods down, it says theirs became nikashim, meaning serpents. You see, so it was not uncommon inside of Egyptian culture to take a stick and make a serpent out of it. They were into that. That's why in the book of Exodus, it says that the children of Israel did things with their secret arts. So the Most High, knowing how these people get down, you understand? It's like, I'm going to show you my power is greater than the gods that you call on. You see, just to give an example in that particular case. All right? So, Hey, Vav, Zad, Ket, Tet. Then we have Yod, which is 10 in numerical value. You remember the meaning of it?
Yeah.
Right. The word in that particular case means hand, like the hand you write with. All right? So, that right there is already something of importance. Now, what I'm going to do is ask anybody who may care to sit there and state these alphabetical letters so far to do so. And I'm going to give me some mine.
Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wav, Zion, Tet, Yod.
Anybody else? Yeah, that's what we went over so far today. Anybody else?
Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zion, Ket, Tet, Yod.
Robert, you mind stating it?
Yeah. Aleph,
Whose is this?
Dalet, Windows, and Het. With Wav, Zion, Ket, Tet, Yod.
Yeah, but my water ain't in here.
Hold on. I'm sorry, brother. One more time. My apologies.
Aleph, Bet, Dalet, Het, Wav, Zion, Ket, Tet, Yod.
All right. Only good. The only thing is, it's Gimel. Yeah, G-I-M-E-L.
Gimel.
Right. So that's it. So are there any questions with this here?
The Tet, right?
Yeah.
The plus sign, plus sign.
No, that's not a plus sign. That's a T.
That's a T, okay.
Yeah. Torah. Yeah, Torah. That's a T.
So there are two words with the K sound. Ket and
Well, Ket doesn't have the K. Ket is KH. So it's the strong. Not Ket. Like the strong, like Ak, Ru'ak. Like that. They also refer to that as a guttural letter. So in other words, you have to necessarily perhaps say it from the throat, the larynx aspect. Like the word Ru'ak, Tapuak, and so forth and so on.
and Kaf also have the KU sound.
Yeah, but Kaf is K-A-F in English writing. But Kaf is not K-H. It's just like K by itself.
Like keep off, okay.
Can. So next you got, as stated, Ka, right? Which means,
Palm of
Right,
hand
thank
or
you.
spoon.
no, that's palm or spoon. God means hand,
Wait, so, palm, okay.
right? Making the K sound.
Number 2.
The numerical value, however, of Ka is 20. See, once you go 1 through 10, then you go through 20 all the way to 400. I'll explain that as we go on.
Wait, not the palm of your hand?
It does mean palm, yes, but it doesn't mean hand.
No, palm of hand.
Oh, okay, my fault. So that goes to show you too how ancient Israel ate, because they identify a spoon as their palm. Yes,
So why you put the K?
because that makes the K sound.
Home, wait, hold
Palm? No, it's spelled as this. I'm sorry, K-A-F. Ka.
on. Oh, God.
Right. But the meaning of kaf itself is palm. Like if you were to talk about the palm of your hand, you would say kafi, my palm.
Or spoon.
Because those people ate with their hands in many cases. Your palm was your spoon. You see?
Maybe they did it with their hands.
Can. So, questions, comments? All right.
The feet for your, the feet that you put for your.
That's a Y.
Okay.
That's a Y. Yo starts with a Y, makes the Y sound. Kaf, Lamed. Lamed means what?
To teach.
Right. And thus, what sound does Lamed make?
L sound.
K. Anybody else? What sound does Lamed make? Okay. So, as we see, whatever it starts with is the sound it makes. So, brother, what would mem sound make? No. Samek. That's how easy that is. The samek is the S sound, the noon is the N sound. What I'm doing in this particular aspect is showing that each of these letters have meanings to it as well. You will see the word kaf inside of Jeremiah in Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? You will see the word wow in the book of Exodus. You will see bake all the time. Bake lehem, bake, well, not bake shamush, but bake lechem, bake Israel, exactly. So you will see Aleph numerous times. You mostly see Aleph in regards to war. When they start talking about the clans or the thousands of a marching, that's when you usually in the book of Numbers, you see Aleph a lot. Dalet, you see that in Samuel. When it speaks about, oh no, the book, maybe so, but I know in the book of Kings, when it talks about one of the kings that he was the doorman and the watcher, you see that word right there, Dalet. All right, so this is not something that's far-fetched. I teach that Hebrew is different, but not difficult. My teachers use not to expose their business. Most of my teachers I speak of, Mori Mishael, Kohen Mikael, and I say this in due respect, not to expose their business, but they came in this understanding, learning this, when they was in their 20s and 30s and so forth. So it's never too late. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I took advantage of this because they put the work in. So now you pass the baton on. You see? So that's how that goes with that. So let's be God. Outside of the fact of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, we have not missed a week as far as this goes in that particular case. All right? So any questions? Anybody?
So you can just put like, it's a word for window, that's not hay, right?
Right, kalon. The word kalon also means window.
But you wouldn't just put a hay for window.
You would spell that particular case, if you were to spell hay as in window, it will be spelled as this. Hey, that's how, if you want to spell that for window. Hardly, I've never personally seen it, but that is how it would be, if that were the case.
So I just kind of want to know, I don't want to say what's the letters have meaning
Yes.
for, why would the letter have a read, why would you need a whole other word if the letter itself can just be the word?
Because in Hebrew, like many other languages, you have it to where one word can hold multiple meanings of something. You understand?
So you just wrote how window will be spelled.
Right.
Hebrew, right?
Right.
But then you use the hey, you didn't use the wow.
Well, I wouldn't use the wow because the wow is not needed for that spelling. Okay. Now, if I were to say cologne, that has a wow in it. That would be spelled as this: Ket, Lamed, Wow, Nun, Sofi. That would be cologne, like the window, if I were to spell it in that particular case. Questions, comments? Okay, so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this one,
Which
Kaf.
one?
Kaf.
Kaf, yes.
Exactly how it's written, that's the symbol, right?
Yeah,
With the dot in the middle.
correct. But I'll say this, with or without the dot is still Kaf. All right, the distinction between bait and Kaf is one has an extension out, one is indented in when you look at the right side bottom of it. So that's like a visual distinction, and obviously there's B, and then there's that. As stated earlier, you will find that most of the letters that are doubled in the modern alphabet of Hebrew here is something that was generally added upon. Let me give you an example. Vet, that was not in there. This is, they try to say this is another ket, but it's not. As far as that's concerned with that particular case. Fe and C, and they try to say this is another S. Ancient Hebrew, you will see it had only 22 letters. So those 22 letters were Aleph, Bet, Yamel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zayin, Ket, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samet, Ayin, Pei, Zaved, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Kaf. And you get that when you go to Psalms 119. How did they develop? I will go into later on the actual other aspects as it went on in time, especially with two people, one Esau and two Zedon. But I'll explain that as we get toward the end of it. All right, are there any more questions? Comments? Okay. So, Yod is a 10 numerical value. After that, as stated, it goes from there to Kaf 20, Lamed 30, Mem 40, Nun 50. All right? So, if you're ever called up to read the Torah, you will see that in that particular case. All right? In most places, they use a book called the Tikkun LaQuar'im. Most Israelites just refer to it as a tikkun, and you would have it out, and the person would sit there and guide the person through reading it, and so forth. And as stated, like I was one of them who would go up to read and not know what I'm saying. You understand? But this is something I learned in Hashanah. If you know you're going to be reading part of the Torah portion and be called up to do so, study it. So when you go up to read, you don't do what I did at 13 and stumble, and then your mother's there like, and study. You see what I'm saying? So it's just about whatever the subject matter is, it's just about in respect to preparation. You see? So that's how that goes with that. All right? So we got Kaf Lamed, then we got Mem. This is the M sound. Numerical value is 40. Anybody remembers what does Mem mean?
What does Mem mean?
Yeah.
Mem means water.
Right. Then you get Mem, Nun. Numerical value is 50. I spell it with two O's so nobody won't think it's none. And that meaning is fish. That's samek
Equals support.
Torah.
And it's 60.
Torah.
Mem is water.
Right.
Mem is water. Noon is fish.
Right. Now let me explain when it says support as in the word samek. The other word for support in the root word verb is tabak. All right, so jumping the gun just a little. This word is a Hebrew word, and you will see this in the 501 verb book. Can anybody state how to say this word here? Can you, from the lessons we went over? Tau and
Tamik. Oh, Tamika.
say it faster.
Tamika.
Right. A lot of black girls' names, you will find out have Hebraic meaning to it.
Tamika.
A lot, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, wow. But yeah, you will see Cain, that has a Hebraic, you find this same word in the 501 verb book. Tamika, Tamikati, my support, Tamikato, his support. Just to give an example, it comes from the Tau named Kaf, which means tamak, to support. So we didn't get to the T and all of that yet, but I just wanted to throw that in there just to show that particular case. There's a lot of ghetto-fied names that go back to Hebraic understanding when your eyes are open. Tanisha, Ayana, all of that can be traced back into Hebraic. Boys, things that we got here, Brian and John.
No.
Yes.
That was a yo.
Yeah.
Okay, so the yo makes the just sound only in the beginning of the Hebrew word.
No, the yod, it depends on what vowel's with it. You see? So, would you need me to write that again?
Yeah.
No doubt. He like this. How the Shawah, we'll go over that in a minute. To me, Ka. Like I stated, you will see this inside the 501 verb book.
So the yo would regularly.
It's just there. It's just as far as it goes. Like if a person said Yadeka, the word yod, the letter yod is still in that word. You see what I mean? It doesn't hold a particular meaning in that particular aspect. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that is with that. It's not like you gotta sit there and have a vowel with that yod as well. So that's something I wanted to just point out. All right, questions so far, comments?
So that is spelled Tamika.
Tamika, but it's read this way. It goes from right to left.
Tamika.
Right. Hebrew, always remember how it goes from right to left. Okay. See, unlike other, like ancient Egyptian, it would tell you it goes from right to left, up and down, and so forth and so on. That's why they can never fully translate. So I pointed that out in this particular book right here. And some of the misnomers that they try to say, like, oh, the word amen had to come from there, wrong. So, you know what I'm saying, but just to edify that aspect. So you got men 40, numerical value, meaning is water, sound pronunciation is N. No, numerical value 50, sound pronunciation is N, meaning fish. Samet, numerical value is 60, meaning is support. That's all right. So next we have ayin. Does anybody remember what that means? Does anybody remember what ayin means?
Oh, iron means eye.
Eye, like the eye you see with.
Yeah.
Now, unlike Facebook scholarship, EYE is not self. That's the literal I. But when you don't know your land language and culture, when it feels special, this becomes I, like I see, like my pineal gland. Your pineal gland, brothers and sisters, is not through your forehead, it's in the back of your head, for those who can't understand anything about body parts. Your pineal gland is located in this vicinity here, not over here. All right, just wanted to let that be known. That's how you spell it. I was pointing this out in my book as well. Pineal gland. All right, only found in what you call quote unquote black people. This is how you know this is the same gland that exudes melanin. You see, when you go into, for instance, in Leviticus 13, it says about the leper, it says his disease upon him is within his head. Because when you get from the leper extruding enough melanin, so therefore you get those white spots and so forth, and the blonde hair and so forth and so on. That's what that particular aspect is talking about. So ayin is this numerical value of 70, and it means I, like the eye you see with, not ani for I meaning self.
Yeah, I'm seeing that too.
I see that a lot.
Ayin is spelled two different ways.
No, I've seen it spelled two different ways, but brother, there's no correct way to write a Hebrew word in English letters. So I can say, oh, well, Aleph is wrong, but I can write wow, W-H-W, or W-A-H-W. There's no correct or wrong way because it's not an English word. Like my teacher, More Mishael, stated, this is for you. So I said ani, meaning I, like self, I or I am, as A-N-Y or A-N-E-E, you're still, because it's not an English word, you can't say this has to be the exact spelling of it. All right? So this is the book I wrote. Brothers and sisters and the people who said I spelled this wrong, I did not spell Tomiri wrong because that stated is not an English word, so therefore there is no correct way to spell a word that's not an English word in English letters. That's why even in Arabic you find Muhammad spelled different ways, but you're still saying the exact same thing. All right, so just to give you edification purposes, you got ayin, pain, making the P sound, meaning mouth. The numerical value is 80. Now, pay and fade both make the numerical value of 80. And whenever fade makes in sound has the same exact meaning as pay in sound. Perak and ferak, patak and fatak, both all mean the exact same thing. Fatak and patak means to open. Then you have perak meaning flower, and ferak also meaning flower. So pa in Hebrew, which they say is the root word of the English sofa, like a couch. The word, heaven forbid, it happens as sufa. That's what the Most High used when he spoke to Jeremiah. He said he will be like a sufa upon Rosh Haresha, which means he will be a whirlwind upon the head of the wicked. The word for that is the word sufa itself. If you said supa and sufa, you're still saying the exact same thing. It doesn't change. That's how you know they had the faith added on for phonetic purposes. Because everybody, as Israel began to go about speaking Hebrew, and then they took on Hebrew, they can't pronounce each and every single thing that the Israelites pronounce. Abib and Abiba. Everyone can't say it, so they created Aviv and Aviva. That's how that came about. All right? So I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Any questions so far? Comments?
No.
All right. Yes.
So the letter that represents ayin is E?
No. It's just this is just I-O, the sound it makes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
I meant to put that.
All right. Mute. Yeah. Silent. Yes. Silent.
Yes.
Like the olive.
Okay. My fault. I meant to put that.
So there are two silent.
Okay. The Aleph and Ya. Now, when you're looking at this and this and this and this is what they say is script Hebrew. You'll see that a lot in museums. You know, but as far as it goes in that particular case. I have yet personally see a Torah written with this particular aspect and so forth. You know, so just want that to be noted.
But
Yes.
saying ayin, how is it? How does it sound like mute?
Because of the sound. Okay, good question. Ayin, when you spell the whole word out, it's spelled as this, and I. But when you have the I and the yod, that makes it I. That's how. See, when you have Aleph, it's just A, Lamed, and Fe. All right? So that's A. Now, had there been an yo next to it, that been I left. Because anytime you have this patak or kwamat, it is followed, the next letter being a yod, it makes it the I sound. Akai, Adonai, El Shaddai, so forth and so on. So that's how that particular aspect works. So I want to state one more time, I ain't being mute. This would just be I by itself. But because when you spell it out, you have this yod next to it, this joined together, this here joined with this, makes the I aspect, which we didn't get into yet because that's the vowels. So that's a good question, but that's the answer for that. All right, questions, comments? Okay, so then we got Samek Ayin. All right.
Going all the way in the bottom,
This one?
mouth,
Mouth, that's what it means.
what's the P for?
P is because it
So,
the sound, it makes the P sound. Correct. All right, over here for clarity. All right, pay phase. Reach, she. Now, when we went over this before, are you comfortable to come up to speak upon this already?
What everything means?
Correct.
I mean, I have it in my book. I'll tell you what, notes, I have it in my book.
So you're not comfortable enough to?
just.
To just tell you what each thing means.
Right, but I said, yes.
I look at my book.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
Okay, so
So, this one right here, Saturday, is 90. And it's like official.
yeah, that's the meaning of it is official.
And it makes the sound like S,
TZ.
TZ, like support. Okay. This,
You gotta write TZ
TZ,
if you don't mind. So
like, okay. Next we have hoof. Hoof is equivalent, numerical equivalent is 100. And the meaning of hoof is the back of your hand. Question? Back of your head, I'm sorry. Where your pineal gland is found. Okay, Resh equals meaning is your head. And equivalent, the numerical equivalent is 200? Okay. This makes the R sound, and Ku makes the P sound.
as
Like
in what?
you.
Right,
You.
okay. As in queen,
Right, Queen, or
Quiet.
Kwadosh,
in Hebrew, yes.
okay? Resh, the R sound, like, let me see, R word. Rahumya.
Meaning what?
Ruach.
Ruach, yeah.
Ruach, Wakumya, like they do in the song?
Yeah,
Yes, same word, same letter, yes.
okay.
I haven't heard that song. That's why I'm like, yeah, I know.
And Shin, which, can I do it like Shin? No, leave it.
Yes, do that. I'll explain that in a minute. Thank you.
Okay,
Hold on for the help.
so that's a S,
H, like shalom.
like Shalom, okay? And, well, Shin is 2.
Mhm.
And the numerical equivalent
300.
is 300, equivalent, I meant. And tau, it means a sign. And this would be 400. So this is the SH sound,
Right.
and tau is the T sound. Like, Tapua, which is apple. Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Question.
The equivalent, like 90, 200, but, I don't understand.
So, sir, all right, so all of the letters, as we were going over them, they have a numerical equivalent. So this was 1, 2, like going on, and certain words have deeper meanings with their numerical equivalent. That's the most.
Okay. It goes basically, hold up for your help. It goes basically from 1 to 10, from Aleph to Yod, right? Then from Kaf all the way down till you get to Zadeh, goes 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, so forth. When you get to Kuf, it's 100. 100, 200, 300, 400. So we give you an example. So if I had Tau and Kuf, its numerical value would be 600. This would be 400 numerical value. This would be 200. That's how you do math in Hebrew. You use the same Hebrew alphabet, which also serves as numbers. So if you had Tau and Aleph, that would be 401. But that's not how you say 401. Because there's a word for 4, there's a word for 100, there's a word for 1. But if you're doing mathematics, this is how you would do that. If you're writing out a math problem in Hebrew letters, you would say Tau, Aleph, Kuf. Plus, whatever that would have been, Sheen, Wow, Gamet, gives you whatever Tau, Sheen, if you're multiplying, dividing, or so forth and so on. So the fact of having the numerical values is because that's also how you do math in Hebrew.
So each letter have a
Numerical value can. That's discussed also in the dictionary. So that's how that works in that particular case. Questions, comments? Sort of, it was good, sort of.
Thank you.
As we go on, you will see how patternized Hebrew is. It's not very far out there. What's mute is mute. It's not like English, no offense intended, where comb has a silent B and knife has a silent K. You know, there's no silent K in Hebrew. Kaf always makes the K sound. Beginning, middle, and end of the word. All right? So are there any questions so far at all?
So
Okay.
the numerical value, right?
Yeah.
Each letter have like 1 to 100, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. It goes, this would be 1 for Aleph, Bet is 2, Gamel 3, Dalet 4, 5, 6 Waw, Zayin 7, Chet 8, Tet 9, Yod 10. Kaf, 20.
10.
Lamed, 10, 20. Right, it doesn't go 10, 11.
Oh, there's no.
To do math in Hebrew to get 11, you put the Yod and the Aleph, 10 and 1. If you were to say, okay, let's add 11 numerical values now, not saying the word Asar and Kaf, which literally means 10 and 1. But if you were to say 10, the numerical value, if you're doing it in that aspect, and you see this, you will know somebody is saying this is 11. If you were to write something out, let's say if you would say, okay, I used to live, all right, on 1362 Brooklyn Avenue, when I used to live in Vanderbilt. You understand? They would sit there and have that written as 13, there will be a Aleph for 1,
Yeah.
Gamel for making it that, you understand? Then on 60 would be, what's 60 something?
Yeah, no, yes, I'm at.
And then 2 will be Bet.
Okay, yeah.
There will be 1, 3, 60, and 2.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's how that would work with that.
So they would, okay.
So that would be used for street signs if we were to do it in that particular aspect. All right? So just want that to be noted for edification purposes. Questions, comments, complaints? At all? Anyone?
Can I borrow your book, brother? The dictionary?
When?
Until next class.
All right.
So
No problem. We went over last week, you can look it up online, how to read this. Read it, my opinion, as if you're learning English. So you look for the Hebrew word and then see the English equivalent. All right? So, just want that for notification purposes. Do me a favor, Aki. Do me a favor, Aki. Look on each of the colors, the front and back, and see if I left any numbers on you. So, all right.
We stopped at pay.
Huh?
We stopped at pay.
No, he stopped at time. She finished it.
Oh. Okay.
Candy. No, she finished it. I have nothing to add to that.
Okay.
1 second, bro.
Candy, no problem.
Make sure I have everything done.
Uh-huh.
Rush is head, okay.
Head or leader, correct. Right, the back of your head. Or monkey. It also means monkey.
So it just means the back of the head. They don't speak about the penile.
No, I'm just thinking that the pineal gland is located in the back of one's head. Mm-hmm.
Which one you said is monkey?
The word kuf also means monkey. Okay,
So that one kuf is both for monkey and the back of the head.
right. Because Hebrew words have more than one meaning in many cases.
Well, Jamaicans talk like that.
I'm sorry?
Jamaicans, they talk like that.
Mm.
They say cool.
Yes, there was a song about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, right?
Yes, I remember that when I was younger.
I don't think they understand it's, I don't think they understand it's Hebrew, or, you know, like.
It's still common.
No, she was talking about something totally
Yeah.
way out there. It's a cancer. We're gonna just leave it at, you know. But yeah, I remember that song.
No, actually,
Okay.
I'm not saying how I should read this book.
No, we deal with that in another aspect.
Oh, okay.
We'll deal with that in another aspect. But what I want to know, brother, is do you happen to have any questions about what we went over so far?
I think I got it down, the numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
So, from your notes, say the alphabet. From your notes, say the alphabet.
Oh, from the notes.
Yeah, from the notes you took.
Everything?
Yeah, but you copied. Say we went over the alphabet.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Aleph.
7.
Aleph, Beit, Gimel, Dila, Dalet, Het, Zion,
No, let finish with Baba Shah. It's all right.
Wow, Ket, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, is it Mem?
Yes, no problem.
Nun, Ayin, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Het, Zadeh, right?
correct?
Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tau.
Once you study that, you get the alphabet. Now I need you to explain what comes first, the Waw or the Zayin. If you're looking at your notes. If you look back at what you said, I need you to explain which one came first, the Waw or the Zayin.
Wow.
Okay, but when you said it, you said Zion, wow.
Yeah.
That's, I don't want to be nitpicky, but I was like, let me let you finish and then, all right, study that. That'll be your homework. For anybody online, that'll be your homework. That's the people's homework for that aspect. Any questions so far? What we went over, because we got 2 hours, we went over from 7 o'clock to now, was the entire alphabet. All right? That's the people's homework. Now, we're getting into lesson 11. All right. So it's like 2 in 1 aspect, okay? So any questions so far?
No.
Okay, now let's go. As stated, this is in the first lesson as well. All right? We have people who are listening since the beginning. There's people in here who were here from the very beginning. So I wanted to, with the time allotted, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to sit there and incorporate it both like aspects in one, so nobody will feel totally out, those who were here from the beginning and those who joined on. Now, lesson 11, if we remember, right, we went over words like this. And for those who are new following, see whatever you may be able to pick up on as well. Kad became what? How do you pluralize that? Kadim, right?
Oh, yeah.
We went over that being a masculine noun, right? We went over the fact of this right here. Ashan. Does anybody remember what Ashan means? To smoke. Right? We went over the fact to whatever is a verb. When you add a mem as the prefix, right? Ma'ashan becomes what? Anybody remembers? Right. When you add a mem in front of a noun, in front of a verb, it becomes a noun. So what does, if ashan means to smoke, what does ma'ashan mean? Chimney. Right. Okay. Yes.
Can you make it more structural, like the other ones?
What do you mean?
Like, just to write it like Hashan, like.
Oh, okay. You mean like in English?
Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Now, last week, in continuing on with what we have been going over, can anybody tell me from their memory what we did last week?
Last week we had, like, we made, wait, I'm trying to explain it.
We went over I had,
Right,
we had, we will have,
right, we'll have,
we do not have, is what we did not do. We did not go over we will not have. All right, so that's what we're going to work on in this particular case. All right? How do you say I have, if you remember?
I have,
Yes, is what?
Haya.
No, I have is yesh li. Right, yesh li. You don't remember that?
So I think a little bit.
One second, bro.
I'll redo it. How we doing?
All right.
You don't see this in your notes?
I came a little bit late.
Oh, right, okay. Yeshli, okay, so you know what? We'll do the whole aspect. Yeshli. Yesh means, and it's not really that advanced either for those who just joined on either. But Yeshli means I have. Right? There is no verb literally meaning to have in Hebrew. So what happens is this word yesh, which means literally there is then said with the other word, yesh li, there is to me. All right? So do you remember how to say the word to write? Can I get some money? Hold on. How to say to write?
To write is
Katab, correct. Katab means to write. So how then, with what we went over, does one say letter? No, one more time. How you say letter? If you remember, right, that katab is the verb meaning to write. By adding a mem, you get the word Torah. You get the word miktab. Miktab means letter, right?
Right, okay, because Miktab is his letter.
I used to katab in your thing.
One second, I got you. Katab. Now you said, how you say his letter?
Miktabim.
Miktabim means letters. His letters is miktabayim.
Miktabayim?
Right. If you remember the lessons that we went over in the past, miktab is a noun. So miktab tabayim. This yod in the wild shows it to be the aspect of his, whatever, pluralized. They try to say miktabim shalom. We don't teach that because that's not in the scriptures. So we say, and I'll converse with white Jews, when they know, like, oh, you speak old Hebrew. It's just biblical. That's cool. So miktabayim, that would be how you say his letters. Miktabayim, right? Remember, when you have this in the yod, that's the I. So you just, being that there's a vowel there, you just pronounce all of it together. That's how you get the Iowa sound. All right?
Okay.
So for those who just joined us, your homework is study the alphabet and write it. You can't go further than that in Hebrew without that. And that is a big step within itself. Trust me. Within the first 11 lessons that we've had, this is why, no offense intended, I call the sister up to show when you sit in a class and study how a person can just take what they study and then apply it. That's how you pass the baton on. You see? All right? So that's how that goes in that particular case. So my point in asking the aspect of letter is this. I have a letter. Yeshli miktab. I have a letter. If I were to say I have his letters, Yeshli miktabayim. Now, with what we went over, how would you say, sister, I will have a letter?
I will have a letter. Will be no, it will be Li.
Hey. Go ahead.
Li Miktab.
Correct. Yicheli Mikta, I will have a letter. That's how that particular aspect will go. So what we're going to do, oh, go ahead, Bob, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, katab, that's how it's spelled all the way, right?
Right.
From left to right,
No, from right to
from
left,
right to left.
in Hebrew.
This way, okay, that's katab, which means
To right.
to the right, okay, and the one that's down on top, big,
Here is Mikta,
big top, and which is
a letter.
A letter.
Right, like when you write an A letter. Questions, comments?
One second, I'm gonna want to know what that you just, told the system.
Which one?
I will.
No, I didn't write that yet.
Oh, yeah.
I did that, I keep just to let it be noted what we went over and where we're going. As far as that's concerned. What we all going to do is go over I have, you have, he has, she has, and so forth. And then get to that other part. Now, by saying Yicheli Mikta, I will have a letter, that is an entire sentence. So we already have sentence aspect. That's my point. All right? So Katab and Miktab and Miktabai and Miktabo and Miktabai was not the core of that part. The core of this part is Yesh Li, which means literally there is to me. Yesh, there is. Li, to me. Yesh li, there is to me, aka I have. Because there is no verb in Hebrew meaning to have, like Spanish is tener. You understand? Then we have Yesh Lekah. You have. When you're speaking to a male. When you see me writing M with the apostrophes, I mean, with the, what is that called? With the parentheses, that right there is just going to show you what that's talking about. The M stands for male or masculine.
So,
Yesh li, yesh laka.
Yesh li means
I have.
I have in English, but in Hebrew it would mean there is to me.
Literally, correct. I wanted to give the meaning and the literal meaning in that particular aspect. All right? You got yesh li, yesh laka. That's when you speak to male. So I say yesh laka mikta. You have a letter. Yesh laka eight. You have a pen. Yesh laka ketonet. You have a shirt. Yesh laka na'al. You have a shoe. Yesh laka kiseh. You have a chair. Just to give an example such as that. Now, as we go on, and if one studies all of the lessons, hands down, one will know how to say, I have a chair, I will sit. We went over all of that. I sat, I will sit, I am sitting. We went over all of that. This may seem weird, but I am actually, believe it or not, following the syllabus. As weird as it may seem, like, oh, you just no, there is an order in which this is being done. This is not off the top of the dome. You understand? So just what the dome meaning had. So just or Rosh. So just want that to be noted for edification purposes. I would advise people, if you're learning Hebrew, learn the vocabulary of things that you're already used to dealing with. If you are a painter, know how to say paint, brush, colors, wall, paper, so forth. If you are a person who deals with aspects of clothing, know how to say button, zipper, pant, shirt, head wrap, hat, clothing, dress, so forth and so on. All right, so just to give an example like that, if you're not into clothing, but you're into medical stuff, don't study things in regards to colors, because that's not going to gravitate to you vocabulary as quick. The things that you do regularly, learn those words first. That's my point, all right? So you got yesh li, Yesh Laka. All right? Last time we went over words like Yesh Laka Ba'aya, Yesh Laka Kesef, Yesh Laka Mezuman. Yes?
What is the M for?
The M, brother, stands for masculine or male.
Oh, male. Okay.
Right. All right. So next we got good question. Yesh Lak means there is to you. Feminine. So I put the F there with the parentheses. All right? Yesh Lak. There is to you. All right? For reasoning purposes. So if you speak it to your daughter, your mom, your aunt, your wife, you would say Yesh Lak, whatever you're talking about. So that's how that goes with that. Yesh Lak Bain, you have a son. Yesh Lak Ba, you have a daughter. Yesh Lak Akyan, you have a nephew. Yesh Lak Akyanit, you have a niece. Yesh Lak Ba'it Odira, you have a house or an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Just to give an example such as that.
It's a feminine.
Right. Yesh Laka to the male. Yesh Lak to the female. So that's how that works with that. You will see a lot of the aspects of masculine and feminine when we start dealing with manners. Mashalom Mek, Mashalom Ka, so forth and so on. How are you doing?
Yesh Laka. When you put that sign right there, just have the both lines in the middle.
Correct. This is, oh no, not that. That was just to show that.
Oh, okay.
My bad. Thank you. Good observation.
Okay, so just one.
Yeah, Yesh Laka. Laka meaning for you. Like, just to give an aspect. So then we got Yesh Lo. Good example? No, that was a good example?
Yeah.
Yesh Lo. He has. Obviously, he's masculine. So, as stated last week, abomination, there is no word for transgender in Hebrew. Either you're ragil, you're normal, or you're quadrat, you're sodomite. There is no, or you're both. You're toeva, you're an abomination. Hebrew doesn't have that freedom to be bi. It doesn't allow that within its structure. You understand? So just to give an example such as that. So Yesh Lo, he has.
Yesh Lo.
Right. Let me write that in the English. Yesh Lo. Because I don't think you was here last week either, Iman, when we went over that. So this is a good exercise. Okay. Yesh Lak, Yesh Lo. He has.
Yes, come before that.
Yes, because when I'm writing it, this is the he part, or there is to him. Right? In English, in Hebrew, it goes from right to left.
Right.
English goes from left to right. So when I'm writing it in it, that's how that goes. That's why you find Hebrew dictionaries open in the opposite way. Yes, brother?
Lo Yesh, right? Or Yesh La.
It's not Lo Yesh, it's Yesh Lo.
Oh, Yesh Lo.
Right.
But it's not good for us to practice, see that we learn in Hebrew to practice reading from right to left, even if you try to write it in English.
That's your call. I mean, I'll write it both ways, but when people are looking to read, they're going to read it in English letters, so they're going to say it as this.
However, the first word in Hebrew is
Right.
yes.
Right. But if I put it like, let me give an example. If I put it like this, Yesh Lo, people will read Lo Yesh, and that's incorrect. We have to always remember that Hebrew goes from right to left. Right. So English goes from left to right. So that's how that goes. You mean like this particular, like how I did this?
Right.
All right.
Learn in Hebrew, so we gotta learn to
And it means he has, right?
Yes.
There's no other way, like in the Hebrew way to say it,
No.
like he has?
Yes,
No, because you, the other one, right, you said,
No, well, that one is masculine and feminine because it's you. So you don't know who the you is, you know who he has is he. It's a different one for she has.
oh, okay.
I think she has no reason.
He has. Yeshlo, he has. Questions, comments?
And this one is masculine or feminine?
Well, he is always masculine. That's what I was saying in Hebrew, there's no transgender. There's no confusion with he and who he is and who she is. In Israel, no, we don't have that. So, you know, as far as that goes in that particular case. All right, then you have Yesh La. Right? Meaning she has. Yesh La Ben, Yesh La Bat, Yesh La Kise, Yesh La Sha'on, Yesh La Kalon, Mahamuban Kalon. What is the meaning of Kalon? Anybody remember what Kalon means? What does Kalon mean? Window. Remember we went over the word hey, mean a window? Then I said the word Kalon also would mean window. Oh, okay.
So this one is Yeshlo, and this one.
Right here, Yeshlo.
Yeshlo.
There is to him, he has.
And this one's Yeshla.
Yeshla, there is to her, she has. Yeshla Kalon, she has a window.
There is to him.
Right, means he has, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you before.
Sorry.
Yeah, there is to him.
Right,
Oh.
AKA he has.
Oh, okay.
So you have, right?
No, Yeshlaka and Yeshla is you have. Yeshlo is always he has.
So there is to him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like if you're speaking Hebrew, say Yeshlo Me'oma, he has something. You're not going to think you have anything. You're talking in the third person, he has.
Yeshla.
Yeshla and Yeshlo are two different things.
Yeshla.
Yeshlak is you have feminine.
That's what I, okay, yeah, that's what I said.
My bad.
Okay, yeah.
Any questions? Comments?
There is to her.
There is to her, yes, she has. So if you already got the alphabet, right? You can say Yeshla Kaf, she has a palm. Yeshla Yod, she has a hand. Yeshla Waw, she has a hook. Yeshla Beit, or in that case Bayit, she has a house. Yeshla Ayin, she has an eye. Yeshla Rosh, she has a head. Yeshla Shem, she has a tooth. Yeshla Tau, she has a sign. That's a whole sentence, just with that right there. That's simplistic.
Isla, man.
She has water. Correct.
So we'll have to know all these words by themselves.
No, you gotta know the alphabet. Teaching you gotta study alphabet for next Monday. So that way you can know the alphabet.
And they all in this.
No, they're on your sheet.
You just,
Oh, okay, all that.
okay now.
Yeah, we went over the alphabet.
Okay.
Study your notes more than you study the dictionary. Because your notes, you wrote them, so it'll be more into your mindset. Yeshli Mayim. Yeshli Mayim a book. I have water in a bottle. I need Shote Mayim. I am drinking water. I need Shote Mayim me habakbu. I am drinking water from a bottle. Shatiti Mayim. I drink water. Shatiti Mayim me habakbu. I drink water from the bottle. Hamayim Vishte Mimeni me habakbu. The water was drank by me from the bottle. That's the stuff we're going to wind up getting into in time. It's easy. It's easy. I'm telling you, if you know another language, it certainly is going to come a lot more easy. Because you already know past, present, future, conjugations, constructions, and all of that. It's not difficult. Know what I mean? So any questions so far? Questions, comments, complaints? Constructively. All right? Yeshla, she has. Yeshli, I have. Next we have. I'm sorry, somebody say something?
No.
Oh, my bad. This when you need children, yo. Yeshnanu. All right, so we got Yeshlanu, which means we have. Right? Now that's masculine or feminine. Boys and girls will say it, girls will say it, boys will say it. All right? Yeshli, I have. That's a man saying it or a woman saying it. All right? So this week we're not going to get into I will have with the time reasoning. We're going to keep it basic, but yet show how far advanced that is at the same token. Yeshli shalom, I have peace. We say words like shalom all the time. How do you say thank you? Toda. How do you say please? How do you say you're welcome? How do you say those things? It's manners. It comes easy. So just want that to be noted. Yesh lanu. Then we have.
So in Hebrew, it'll be spelled differently, right? It'll be from the right to the left, right?
Yes, Hebrew's always read from right to left.
So yish.
I'll put it like this so you can see it exactly breaking it down. Like interlinear style. They sell Tanakhs like that. Where they sell the interlinear where you see the exact word meaning what. So that's how I'm gonna do it for edification purposes so it can be seen and known. Yesh, yesh. Lanu, lanu. We have English aspect of yesh, lanu. Now what you're seeing these English letters here is what referred to as metathesis. All right? Look that word up. And come back next week and we can talk about it. Meta thesis. Anybody who read my book, that word is in there and it's broken down literally. But that's another subject. Metathesis. That's another aspect of the homework. All right? For those who just joined us online, if you're following us from the first lesson to now, you will see earlier that the sister came up and went from Zadeh all the way to Ta. That's what happens when you study. I did that on purpose for a reason. All right. Next we have Yesh Lakim. Masculine, plural. Yesh Lakim Shulchan. You have a table. You all. Right? Yesh Lakim. Yes.
How do you say we have in
Yesh Lanu.
No. How do you say it like you know how you say there is to you?
There is to us.
There is to us.
Right. Lanu literally means to us or for us. Right, then you got Yesh Lakem. You all have. Yesh Lakem Shulchan. You all have a table. All right? Just for edification purposes. I want to state next week, for those who are following, there is no Hebrew class next week, except for the people who are currently in the room because they have a homework assignment. Because we're doing something else next week, Monday, which I got permission from principal concern. So that's what that is. So Yesh Lakim, there is to you. Yesh Lakim Shulka. Yesh Lakim Devarim Liktobam. You have things to write with, or write with them, or in them, or what have you. All right, for edification purposes. Questions, comments, complaints? See, I state complaints because I want people to be able to feel to be open to talk about something. If a person leaves a disrespectful comment, I'm not addressing it, because I don't come off disrespectful. You understand? So I'm gonna keep you to yourself. You can have that.
So the MP is,
Masculine, plural. Then we have Yesh Laken. If you notice, Yo Sheen, Yo, the Y sound, Sheen, Lamed El, Kaf K, Noon or Nun so feet, the end. Whatever sound start with is the sound it makes. All right? So, Yesh Laken. You all have feminine plural for edification purposes. All right? Yesh Laken. Only when you're speaking to only females. If there's males and females, you speak masculine. If there's males and females there and you speak feminine, it means that you're excluding the men out for whatever reason. All right? So that's how that goes in that particular aspect. Then we have almost complete.
It's like him.
Right.
They have.
Right. They automatically is plural.
Masculine.
Right. All right. Robert, can you say the alphabet? The alphabet that you copied earlier.
everything?
The alphabet. This is not the alphabet. Those are words.
Oh, alphabet.
Yes, the alphabet. This is how my teacher used to do my. I declare who. Say it. Yeah. Maybe I mimicked them. I don't know.
Yes, Aleph,
Continue. You right.
Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Het, Zion, Waw, Kef, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin.
Correct.
Het, Zadeh, Kuf, Reth, Shin, Tau.
Okay. What comes first, the Zion or the Waw?
The wow come first.
Right. When you said it, you said Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Dalet, Hey, Zion, Waw, Ket. For whatever reason, you seem to always put Waw after Zion. When I was younger, learning this, I will avoid this letter as much as possible for whatever reason. So, I used to get confused with Beit and Kaf. And as stated, I used to avoid this one. Just certain things each of us may have had to when we were learning and growing in it, what we had to develop. That's the be candid in that particular case. Yesh lahem means what? Anybody?
There. Something like
They have.
oh, there.
Masculine. And yesh lahen, they have. When you're speaking about females. So we have Yeshli, Yeshlaka, Yeshlak, Yeshlo, Yeshla, Yeshlanu, Yeshlakem, Yeshlaken, Yeshlahem, Yeshlahem. All right? I do appreciate those who do come through and those who are all online. I get inboxes for people from Louisiana. I get inboxes for people from Texas. I get inboxes for people from Brooklyn. I get inboxes from people as far as stated Louisiana. I've never been as far west as that, besides Texas one time. You understand? There are people in New Zealand who watch this class. So this is why when you're showing it online and you come in the name of the Most High, it's very important. So I don't address everybody's comment when you're disrespectful. That's something that's top Tenu Gam King. That's beneath me and that's beneath us as well. You understand? So, want that to be noted. I want to state this. This word right here that many brothers and sisters speak on, as stated earlier. This word is a Greek word, paleo. The word paleo is simply the Greek word meaning ancient. It's not a Hebrew word. The Hebrew word for ancient is atik. You understand? There was a camp called Yisrael Atik back in the 1970s. You understand? And meaning ancient Israel. Then the other word for it is quedem. That's another word meaning ancient. All right? So that's just something I wanted it to be noted for edification purposes. Both meaning ancient. All right? Atik and quedem. Now the word quedem also, when you add a hey at the end of it, it changes from the Segol verb vowels. We deliberately go over the vowels. Once you learn the alphabet, then we'll get to that. Right? You have qued, ma. Qued ma means going to the ancient or going what? East. All right? For edification purposes. They call the Mediterranean the going toward the west. The Hebrew word for west is ma'arab. All right? Those familiar with Hebrew know good and well that the word ered means what? Anybody? Ered means what? What does that mean? Even, like between afternoon and night. You understand? So west is ma, Arab, and Ered means even, because the sun sets in the west. So ancient Israel said that going toward the west, the evening the sun is setting, they said that's the Ma'arab. That's why they call the Mediterranean Sea the Western Sea, because you know the geographical location of where Israel was east of the Mediterranean.
So that's how Ma'arab is spelled, right?
Right, Ma'arab, Mem, Ayin. So just let it be noted in edification purposes how the Hebrew works. It's very, very easy. All right? Okay. So, with the time remaining aspect, I wanted to state this. How did this come to be?
That's West Ma'arab.
Ma'arab means west, and red means even, E-V-E-N. Like the even of the day and the night, or dusk.
Evening.
You see them both in the Tanakh. Okay. Okay. So,
And the other word is Ereb, means even, right?
right, even.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to explain how this came about, as stated earlier. These letters, like the vet, the fe, and the sin.
Yeah, that's even Rev. If you would say Rev, I'll
Right.
Right.
Ancient Israel did not have, no offense intended, a V aspect. We went over this several times. All right. So there was the numerical value was 1, 2, and 3. Vet does not have its own numerical value because it's not of the ancient people. All right. That came about by having those who are not of the children of Israel who could not phonetically pronounce everything with the B sound. Abi became Aviv.
Right.
Even if you look at the King James Version in Deuteronomy 16, it says, observe the month of Abib. But when you look in some of the Jewish translations, it says Aviv. And it's not wicked, it's just the way one's able to understand. And it's meaning the exact same thing. The numerical value, house of, Abib means the spring, and so forth and so on. Now, same with the letter here, Fe. They say this letter without the dot represents, the dot's called a dagesh. They say without the dot is referred to as the F sound. Yet, that holds the same numerical value, the same meaning, and so therefore, it just goes to show you it's not separated in this aspect. A famous word with this is the word patak. All right? You have the pay, tau, and the ket. Patak means to open. In Hashaba, they used to sing a song called Petak HaTorah, which means open up the Lord. All right? So, just to give an example as far as that is concerned in that particular aspect. Petak and Petak both mean the exact same thing. Abib and Aviv both mean the exact same thing. Then comes this one here, which they say, when you have the dagesh on this side here, making it the S or the sin sound. But yet, this right here and this right here have the same numerical value. You understand? So I just wanted to use that for edification purposes.
However, one is sin and one is shin.
Right. Based upon how one they pronounce.
No, I thought it was based upon methodology.
But they put the dots there based upon their own particular form of pronunciation. That's how that works. You had a people called this. Right? They were related to Zidon. Zidon, you have to look up Ahab, king of Israel, and his wicked, horrible woman called Jezebel. All right? So just want that to be noted. When the Zidonians and the house of Israel made a league, they do not have in the Phoenician language a distinction between the SH and the S. So whereas we would say, and believe it or not, in ancient times as Yisrael, ancient Assyria and other nations said Yisrael, Yisrael. They said it differently. We would say Yahuda. Babylon, speaking of Judah, said Yehudu. We would say Edom for Edom. The ancient Assyria said Udumu for the same exact people. We say Yisrael. The ancient Egyptians said it as Israel. This is why knowing metathesis and linguistics is important. The same meanings you find for sheen is the same meanings you find for seen. It's the same exact thing, but what happened is when you had different aspects of different nations mixing within Israel, that's why I mentioned, don't disrespect, and not to sound disrespectful, broken man Ahab, who went to his wife because he wanted somebody covering somebody else's field. So she took him, back, I got you, baby. Everything be okay. They blind up killing the man, and that's when Jehovah smoked his whole house. You understand? You didn't appreciate what you had. You wanted somebody else's stuff. Lo tak mo ko ashel lo de erka. Thou shalt not covet anything that is thine neighbor's. There's a reason for that. It can cause death. I want his Isha. I want his chain. I want his whatever. There have been brothers who gotten killed for breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You understand? So this is just something I wanted to point out for edification purposes. Jehovah does not deal with a joke. There is no LOL in the Tanakh. You understand? So getting back to the point of what I'm saying is this. How they wound up having the sheen and seen aspects is by having the aspect of saying when the ancient Phoenician language, which sounds very similar to Hebrew, does not make a distinction between its SH and S. So in metathesis, this is what this formulates out to be. So this is how we get words like, give you an example, Yasis, this is in Deuteronomy 28:63, right? Yasis. Which really would be in ancient or Paleo Hebrew as Yashish, just to give you an example. But it both means the exact same thing. Now, for those who are following already, this Yasis, this is the paid, no, it's an I and your verb. We went over that, never, but we went over the pay your verb 2 weeks ago. All right, so I just want to go and use that as an example. Are there any questions? Because the lesson is done. Questions, comments, complaints?
You mentioned Habib and
Yes.
Habib, right? Now, that's Spanish. The Spanish, their V is pronounced as B.
Okay.
Like in the name Veronica, in Spanish they will say Veronica. So
Okay.
I don't know if Spanish had anything to do with the Habib and Habib.
In ancient times, when Israel did go to Spain, if a person has time, they can look up a thing called the Ladino. And those were Israelites in Spain among the Moors that were speaking Hebrew. This is why you find some in Moorish signs saying that they're Hebrews as well. You understand? But you may want to look up Ladino, Ladino, and that goes into that aspect in an explanation. So in closing out, I want to sit there and state, I'm going to erase this and put my info aspect up. Questions, comments, points? All right. All right, 908-587-4841. Call. And questions, comments, leave them on the comment board. Call concerning that. I will attempt to answer, and so forth and so on. 908-587-4841. Tisha, Ephes, Shimona, Hamisha, Shimona, Sheba, Arabash, Shimona, Araba, Echad. All right? So just for that edification purposes.
You want to put a time?
No, this is a business phone, so it's any given time. Okay, told out for that though, Iman, that's a good idea. Also, as stated, next week, which is next week, Monday, the 30th, there is no recorded Hebrew class because we're doing another event. So for those who are listening, they can go back and retrack all of the lessons now from 1 to 11, and then call this number if you care to with your questions or comments, or post it up there. And I do check the board. That's how I know a lot of people don't comment on the board. I check it like every other day. You see what I'm saying? Which, if you don't have a question, so be it. But don't hesitate to sit there and state it. Constructive criticism only will be responded to. So that's as far as it goes with that. This right here is a book I wrote. It says Egypt Talk and Writing. Did the Torah come from the culture of Tameri? Spoke about this. Did a PowerPoint. Going to do other works in this particular aspect. Told out to the people online who bought it already, and told out to the people who came for the book signing and who also bought it, and so forth. So just want that to be noted. You can look this up on CreateSpace. I will write this out. That's CreateSpace.com, and you can see this particular book here. You can get it through PayPal, and here is the website, all right, for edification purposes. And there is a lot of Hebrew explanation, all right? Danite, the tribe I claim, dot, baked. Remember we went over baked? .org. All right? So that's that in that particular case. Told out for the time. Shalom. I turn it over to Principal or Chief Shaw. Told out about. All right. Shalom.
You have to mention Amazon.
No, you can get it on CreateSpace or you can look it up through the website.
We're gonna count the Oma.
Torah.
What you have been commanded to do. Torah says. Would you like to lead us in prayer?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kedishanu bet mitzvotav b'si banu al sefi rat ha'omer. And that says, blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us concerning the counting of the Omer. And today is the 31st day, which is 4 weeks and 3 days of the Omer.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Most High God, be with us. Have mercy upon us. Torah for blessing us that you have day in and day out. We thank you for even allowing us to be able to come together on this day of Most High God to conduct this class. Torah for blessing the moray with the enlightenment and the understanding to be able to conduct the class. We pray, Most High God, that our viewers and family who are here get something from this, Most High God, so that these words don't fall on unworthy ears, Most High God. Torah for all things and everything. Please give us traveling mercies and return it back unto our homes. Please be with us, Most High God, throughout the week. You spare life of a great King. Allow us to make it into another beautiful Shabbat day. Torah for all things and everything. Hallelujah.
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 Praise the mighty Yah.
Praise the mighty Yah. What I should have did,